Okay, so open the first question.
Oh, me? Okay. So the first question I am going to ask, and I'm kind of directing this one to you, Jonathan. Um,
Yikes! Already starting wrong.
well, I'm a It says, what would be your
Well, it could
recommendation
apply to
on?
both.
I mean, yeah, okay, to both of y'all, Josh and John. What would be your recommendation on balancing parenthood and relationship life, and not necessarily just relationship, but just life in general? Like, how do you balance the parenthood and you?
You can go first.
Okay. How do I balance it? Personally, parenthood comes first because childhood is the child is a number one priority. The relationship comes second because again, child is more important. If we're talking about a romantic relationship, that is definitely second because at the end of the day, I have to be there for the rest of this child's life, regardless. And relationships come and go, um, and especially if they're not a real one. And so, if I were to like specify, um, it is a balance. I'll just put it that way. But more so leaning towards fatherhood because that's a priority and a responsibility. But a relationship in this sense is a luxury. Um, I could need it, I could want it, but it's not a need per se. So yeah, as I smoke this pipe because I'm too grown for that. Your turn, Josh.
Can you repeat the question?
How do you balance, or what would be your recommendation on balancing parenthood and relationship life?
Okay, what relationship life are you talking about?
Um, just any relationships or just life in general,
So how would I manage my kids in my relationship if I had a relationship?
or your personal life, just period. Like,
So is that the same as a relationship?
I guess if you want it to be, sure.
Okay.
It don't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It's just relationships with people. And how do you
Yeah.
balance your free time with your family?
Well, personally, I don't really have free time because every weekend I'm with my
Me neither.
kid every day.
Me neither.
So if I was to have free time, I would probably obviously put that second at the same time. Like I want to be with my baby, so there would be times where I wouldn't like be able to ever have free time just because I would want to be a parent per se. I like that parenting thing. It's kind of fun. So yeah, that's
Okay,
how I do
so
mine. Yeah.
neither
He
one
right.
of y'all,
He
neither
right.
one of y'all really said how y'all gonna balance it.
I mean, we just
Y'all really put
I did.
parenting first, but where's the balance of
there is no balance
there has to be a balance
because if
There
between
is no balance.
you and
There is no
there has
balance.
to be some type of balance between parenthood and your personal life, because if you're so consumed in parenting, where are you getting yourself together at?
you don't have time to get yourself
Well,
together.
But you're supposed to make that time to get
you
yourself
learn
Oh
as
together.
you
wow.
go along.
I can't sit here and just continue to be Zenaya's parent and not put anything into myself. The littlest things, the friends, the just buying myself something,
I don't have any
anything.
friends.
Yet.
At all?
Not really. No.
Well,
But
shit,
if
we
I
could be
did
your
have
friends.
friends, if I did have
Well, we
friends,
friends now because we talking.
Right.
if
You
I did
stuck.
have
You
friends,
on the call, you
if I did
stuck.
have friends, if I did have friends, I would that's a hard question to answer. I wouldn't know how to do
Okay, so
that.
me,
Okay, I'll
um,
put it this way. I'll
um,
put it this way. Oh,
go
I said
ahead.
I'll put it this way. When Ellington is asleep, that's my free time.
Bam, there you go. What he
When
said.
she's taking a nap, like during the days, that's my free time. So that's an hour or two, maybe 2.5 hours. I can deal with that,
Hmm.
because again, I don't
And
need
that's
that
still
much free time to get
something.
myself to. I mean, exactly. Like, but if it
Yeah.
turns a relationship again, parenting comes first, and my free
Hmm.
time is when she's taking a nap. The moment she's up and in my house, I am more so for her than anything. I don't, excuse me, I don't ditch her for no party. I don't ditch her to do whatever. As long as she's in my house, and as long as she's in my supervision, she is first. So right now, she's supposed to be asleep, and so right now is my free time. And I don't mind having free time at night. I don't mind having it in the middle of the day. majority of the time, I go see her every day anyway. So when my free time is free is when I go see her because she needs to see me, and I don't need anything else really at this point outside of being that father for her.
Understand that. I feel you on that. But that, like you
I
said,
mean,
like
yeah,
your free time, that hour or two, that's that's your time. So that's you. That's a way of you balancing out, being a parent and then getting yourself together, because that's pretty much all it is.
I mean, yeah. Unless I find that one female who really cool with balancing out with me to take care of Ellington with me, we ain't got nothing to speak about. We just talking or not. All, all eyes on me.
All right, so
Straight up.
if you meet that one female, how long for you, for a guy, does it take, do you feel is the appropriate amount of time before you introduce somebody to your kid?
Oh, that's a
Want me to go
tough
first?
one. Yeah, you got it. You got it, bro. Let
Okay.
me think about this one.
You don't until you know it's time, and that could be years or months,
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
But that's just me.
It also depends on the circumstances of the relationship you're in. So if I just met this chick and we've been talking for, let's just say, 3 months, just hypothetically, I'm not introducing her to my child just yet. That's 33 months to me is too short. Um, because what I don't want happening is if we are talking and we started dating, but then for some reason we break up, and then my daughter is used to seeing her around, but then she's no longer around. Maybe somebody else she's gonna be like, well, who is this? And then this ugly cycle of, I don't say rotating females, but yeah, rotating females in and out of the house. I don't want her getting used to that. I need her to be comfortable with one person and one person only. So like even right now, I'm not like talking to anybody, but they will never see my kid unless it's a picture. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. There's a boundary because she is my protection, and you know, they can wait. They can definitely wait.
Yeah, it's
Now, if it's
similar.
something like I don't know, a year and a half, now we can get into the circle of all right. Let me introduce you to my kid because now we have some kind of understanding of each other. And then after that year and a half, and then she's gonna start seeing him, and then she's gonna get used. My dog's gonna get used to seeing her around, which makes it feel safe. Safety is number one for me, and 3 months ain't gonna cut it. A year and a half,
I feel it.
as I smoke.
Would it be different? Would it be different if it was somebody that has been around you for a while, so like a long time, like you would, like y'all friends or whatever, and then it becomes something else? Is that different in the time that you would,
Yeah, I would say it's different, only because
why?
just because we were friends, let's say just because we are friends doesn't mean the relationship part of it is gonna be there. You know,
Hmm.
there's a difference between a friendship and a relationship. Like okay, in a romantic relationship. I can be friends with anybody, and I still would not have them be around my kid because again, I don't know your energy, I don't know your vibe, I don't know your intentions. Same with the relationship, you know. Um, who can I give a good example? I don't know if you remember Charmin, the saxophone player from
Mhm.
HT. Maybe not. I don't know.
I do.
Yeah. So we okay. Yeah. So we were cool friends when she was at school. Um, but I never got to see her daughters until we were like a cool like year or two in our friendship because that's when she introduced me to her church, and that's when I did that's when I did meet her daughters. It was after a long, long time, and it made sense because again at that time she was going through her relationship with whomever. I don't know, remember the whole gist of it. But it's just a safety issue. I just choose not to put anybody and everybody in her space. not knowing what they're giving off, not knowing if she feels safe or not. You know, so I will wait. Like they can miss me with that. They're just gonna have to respect that boundary until they prove otherwise.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you on that because personally, I don't like for everybody to be around my daughter. You know, like friend, family, whoever.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, everybody's vibe, their energy kind of rubs off different, and babies can definitely tell. You know, when somebody's energy
Yep,
is off, and I don't want none of that rubbing off on my baby. Like I don't want my baby feeling no type of way around nobody. So I definitely feel you on
yep.
that one.
You can't do nothing but respect it because that means you're a responsible parent and you care about your child's well-being.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what women want.
I
That's
would be
exactly what
concerned
women
if
want. Somebody
somebody, I
responsible.
would be more concerned if somebody did say 3 months and not a year and a half.
Yeah, I'll be looking
Like
at you crazy,
I'd be
especially with
questioning like,
millennials.
really? Because like what if it didn't work and the next person come and it's just like new person, new person, new
Yeah,
person. And kids do need structure. That's what keeps them growing and having less issues is when they have a little bit more structure. To see your parent with one person consistently is so much better than seeing multiple women. Because trust me, you know this.
exactly, exactly. So you
Definitely.
know,
And people think, oh, they're a kid, they're 2 years old. I promise you, I can still remember some stuff at about 3.
Me too.
yep,
Hmm.
You
yep,
know what I'm saying?
straight up.
Like, that's stuck with you. Like, you can remember stuff. So it's like, don't be naive just because they're toddlers.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
They're
I would
watching you.
never introduce anybody unless I am for sure, like guaranteed to be with this person, or even just
Right.
at least close to, you know. And plus,
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, they will have to get used to their vibe anyway. The kid with the, you know, the significant other, um,
Hmm.
Right.
because they're gonna have to get used to them, you know, and getting used to them is very important because it helps them communicate effectively on that side. Of course, they're gonna trust their parent more than their significant other, but of course, over time, they will grow and get more
Very true.
comfortable.
Hmm.
Okay, good story.
No, I agree with everything. But
You
y'all
agree
said
with
I was
everything?
gonna say yeah.
All right, I have a question. Why is it more stereotypical for women to look for a stepdad if they're not with their significant other versus the other way around?
That's
Hmm.
just I think that's a woman that she can't really vibe
Wait,
without having a man around.
ask the question again.
If I keep it simple, if a woman has a baby,
Mm-hmm.
they will want a man to be around their baby, like a stepdad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a guy has a kid, women don't want to be stepmothers.
Hmm.
So why is that? Stereotypically speaking, like a lot of women don't want a guy with a kid
I think
I
what that
already,
is,
and
it's the baby mama
I was
drama.
just about to say, I think they're intimidated by what may come with the mother of the child. I really think they're like,
well,
ooh, I've
that's why I'm
seen
asking
too
why is
many,
that?
because they've seen too many instances probably around them with baby mama drama. And they're like, ooh, is that what all stepmoms go through? Because that's going to be stressful. And some people, I mean, it takes a person to have a strong backbone to be able to sort through those kind of things, but it's not meant for the weak. So some people can't handle that. Some people be like, you know what, I'd rather just deal with the easier way where somebody doesn't have kids and we don't have any drama with other women. It's just us. Some people are
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I
Remember
guess.
when we was
Not
talking
saying
about
I
being
agree with
baby
it, but
mamas?
huh?
I said, remember how we was talking about bitter baby mamas? Bitter baby mamas,
Hmm.
it's their job. Besides being a parent, it's their job to make his life and his girl's life miserable. I've seen it up front. My brother and his baby mama, she literally every day, all she talked about was his girlfriend, his girlfriend. Oh, I'm about to beat her ass. Oh, I'm about to yada yada yada. And she the one taking care of your kid. So we see a lot of that, and I've
Was he
seen
dicking her
that.
down? Was he dicking her
Huh?
down though? Was he dicking her down though?
No,
Hmm.
not anymore. At first,
Not
yeah,
anymore.
but after a while, no, not anymore. But even
Okay,
after,
see,
like,
that's
you see
probably what
people
happened.
like, And
She was still
okay, so that
attached.
that's still again a point in itself because of the fact that a lot of baby fathers still be sleeping around with their kid's mother, and so that's another
True,
thing
true,
with the
true.
baby mom. It's baby mom and baby daddy they're always gonna sleep around yada yada yada. I ain't gonna want to deal with no nigga if he got he got a kid. I ain't got no kid, but he got a kid, and I'm not finna no no
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
not finna
Josh, you got
not
anything
finna
to
deal with
say?
that. Like, what you got to say?
That day.
What you got? No, you can't go regress
Okay.
again.
Go ahead and ask that question again.
I was saying, hold on. I was saying, why is it okay for a woman who has a baby look for a man, but if it's the opposite way, if a man has a kid and looking for a woman, she don't want to be the stepmother in the relationship.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't really speak for a woman, but if I can make a guess, like my mom personally, she used to like try to find quote unquote father figures for me, and that kind of messed me up because it was always like different niggas, I guess, or dudes. So it was more the aspect of like, all right, bro, you just ain't doing too much because every woman is different. But if I could speak like as a son, like a woman who has a son, she don't know how to raise him, so she tries to find that help in her significant others, regardless of how many it is. You know, every woman is different, but
Yeah,
that's just a guess. I don't know, but I mean that messed me up. You can't really have too many
Multiple
people
people.
around your kids because they're gonna grow up tripping. Like I acted out because of that, but it more the reason because I didn't have no relationship with my own pops, so I used to do stuff because I that's what I thought being a man was like. You know, stereotypically trying to be the hardest one or not showing no emotion or being real mean. So
yeah, yeah.
so
I mean,
yeah,
sometimes
Stop.
you gotta be that. I personally think sometimes men gotta be there anyway, because we had that conversation the other day, like why are men so emotionless and always so hard or whatever, and it's only because we gotta be that way. Um,
yep,
because it's like survival of the fittest. And again, no bashing, but women don't necessarily understand because that's not how they're wired. They're not
yeah, especially
wired
for
to
a black male.
the world like have the burden of protecting their family like a man would, And
Right.
it just happens. It just happens that way.
So is it hard to turn that switch off in a relationship because there is no need for survival of the fittest in the relationship?
Hey,
I
hey,
can understand life
I think
and for the
I would say
household.
I would say no. It is not, it is hard to turn that switch off, only because again, for guys, we try to do everything to keep the relationship and the family strong. And if a woman doesn't see that, it makes us feel weak and insignificant.
yep,
And so we got to keep that persona on because that's what you guys expect from us. And because you expect that from us, we got to keep it on to feel safe and secure with us. The moment we turn it off, we're going to get used to turning it off. And then when the time of need of you needing to feel protected and whatever, and he decides to turn his macho-ness off, then it's just like, who's going to take charge? You know? Um, it can't. I'm sorry, y'all, but we can't turn it off like we were supposed to, like y'all will want us to. You know, the only time I feel like you want us to turn it off is when you guys are vulnerable and need like that soft ear or that soft tone in voice from a man or something, some kind of a manly affection. I'm assuming y'all agree or y'all don't agree.
Like, you have a point.
Go
So
ahead.
it's like,
I mean, come on, let's think about it.
I
If y'all
mean,
had a shitty day, mentally, emotionally, whatever, you need
hmm
that not the feminine touch, but that manly energy is like, hey, I got you, like protection energy. And
okay.
when he gives you that, that means his wall or shield of manliness, quote unquote, is down. to make sure you feel vulnerable and safe in that energy, whatever. But we can't do that all the time because it is a
Okay.
survival of the fittest for the couple. Because again, we are trained, or evolution has taught men to be stronger than the next man, just in case a threat comes in the house, right? So that emotional part that you guys want, we can't always give because it we can't um we can't be on guard if it's down, just in case something slips up, hypothetically speaking.
Okay.
Think of it this way. I'll even give you a National Geographic way. In the Lion Kingdom, right? There's usually one male lion with, like, let's just say 3 or 4 lionesses.
Mm-hmm.
Instinctively, he has to protect the lionesses because they're taking care of his offspring, right? So what he does all day is mark his territory all day and sleep and take care of the kids, while the lionesses go out and hunt and whatever. Now the lionesses understand he is much stronger than they are, so he gets the first of the meat that they kill, because if another lion comes in his pride or his territory, he has to have the energy, per se, to protect his pride, you know. So if he is not nourished, or he is not guarded in his way, or his instinct is not there, that other male lion or other lions will kill him. And guess what will happen? The cubs will get killed. So that way the women can be in heat to get their offspring off. So we're always, as men, are always on guard, because any nigga can take a girl if he does the right things right, if he pushes the right buttons for her. It's not to say that y'all women are unfaithful, but however, y'all got needs, and men are skilled at finding y'all's needs very well. That's what we do. And that's pretty much how it is. We can take over another relationship if we find out your weak spots, because you will then leave him because he ain't fulfilling your weak spots. That's
I've
fair.
never
I mean,
heard it explained that way, but that
but
makes
it makes
total
sense.
sense.
A lot of sense,
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes total sense.
So we have to be on guard, because any time we are not on guard and we are effing up in y'all's relationship, that means some other dude may see you attractive and may want you, and then he can find those weak spots that we weren't filling up. And then now we are compromised. That's the word I would use. We are compromised in not protecting you from another nigga, because you guys are ours. Fuck you,
Okay,
me.
like
I'm
we
shooting up
good.
everybody. Yeah, we did. So
They
yeah,
quick to say that line. We good.
yeah, we did.
Hmm.
I don't know, Alexis, or you have a question?
I want to hear the next one.
I'm gonna let Alexis
Oh,
ask the next
Oh,
question.
okay. Hmm.
Pick a good one.
I have that.
Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
No, she ain't done.
Look at it.
Gonna make my
I
baby
got a
mad.
question. If you ain't got one, yeah, sis.
What? So, what kind of woman do you guys want in your life?
That's very broad. So, are you talking
Yeah, that was a
relationship
little broad.
in general?
Mm-hmm.
So, a
A
romantic
life
relationship.
like a life partner. Let me rephrase that. A life partner.
Okay, but what
Okay,
if you're
Josh,
emotionally
it's your turn
damaged?
first.
Yeah, what?
That ain't got
You said
nothing to
what?
do with the woman you want.
That's what I'm saying. What if you're emotionally damaged and you don't know what kind of woman you want?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that's a real
However,
question.
you can be used to something that makes you still feel happy.
That means you got to
So,
find yourself.
I mean,
I
true. Let's
like
just
that
let's just
response.
say, for example, you find yourself. Let's just hypothetically, this is a perfect world. For me, the number one thing is she needs to make me laugh. And the reason why she needs to make me laugh, because as a black man, life is hard out here in these streets. So if she can crack a joke in a hard day, that means a wall will come down that she will want later. Okay? Now, outside of that, Um, uh, accountability. If she holds me accountable on what I said I was going to do, because we're supposed to all go in the same direction. If I'm slacking up, she needs to say something. So that's like a drive-by. Hey, wait a minute.
Right. I was
Y'all
like,
need to
hold
get in
up. That sounds like a Bronco or something.
They're doing too much out here.
there. But yeah, I mean, something like that. Somebody who's good with their hands, if they know how to fix a kitchen sink by themselves and I ain't there, that's a plus. That's a turn on. Listen, listen. She getting all of it because that means she is self-sufficient. If I'm at work and she at home and a kitchen sink is broken and she can fix it without me being there or we ain't gotta pay nobody to do it, self-sufficient. Of course, you gotta.
Definitely.
Of course, I'm not gonna say of course because that can be anybody. Um, if someone is spiritual, okay, they have to have the spiritual accountability. Again, we gotta go in the same direction, and she has to be humble enough and feminine enough for me to lead. If she's not letting me lead, I don't need it because now I'm fighting you to lead in a family. Especially when women always shout, "I want a man, I want a leader, I want this, I want this, I want to be led," but you're not letting them do it. I'm good. I'm not about to play with you. So you gotta let him lead
But
and
you know
trust
what?
whatever he does. Yes, I'm listening.
A lot of the times, women don't allow a man to. Well, I can't say a lot of the times because no, but half the time, a lot of women don't allow a man to lead either because they don't know how to really step back and allow that man to lead, or he's not showing her why she should allow him to sit here and lead. Remember how I told y'all my brother get down? That if I start seeing qualities like that, hell no, I'm not about to sit back and let you lead. No, because you're going to lead me straight to the fucking ground. No. You got to really show what you're capable of doing for a woman to really step back and, like, really let you lead like that.
Okay, so how does he lead in your eyes?
Hmm?
How does he
Um,
lead in your eyes?
How is he leading your eyes?
Ooh.
um, I don't
I'm
know.
parched. Let me sip my water.
See, this is where I have a problem, mate. If you don't know what he is supposed to do to
I think
lead,
she
and
knows.
he
I think she
decides
knows.
to lead
She
in a
knows.
different,
I think. I
then
think.
you
I
can't
think
say
she knows.
nothing.
I think she knows.
Why do
She
you say
thinks she
that?
knows.
A man
There's
should
a moment of
lead
pause with a smile when you
physically,
ask that question.
spiritually, and mentally.
Mentally, how?
Like, I would prefer that the man lead in the household. Now, if I need to put my 2 cents in to advise on it, I'll
Mm.
do so. But I do want the man to lead, like, the decision making of the household. That's just me.
I mean,
The
I feel
house.
like that's how it should be just because of how we was raised back, back
Mm-hmm.
then. That's what we was taught was I grew up with my dad working, my stepmom, she worked or whatever, but my dad works, brought the money in, my dad did everything. And my
Mm-hmm.
stepmom, she was just his little backbone. She just had his back for everything. Like that's kind of what we seen growing up was the men doing all the work and the women, we take care of the household, take care of the kids, yada yada yada, like that.
So, are for you two? Are you guys okay with being housewives?
For
I would
me,
be
no.
as long
So
as I
you're
have
okay.
things to do.
But
I mean, of course, of
I
course,
do
of
I
course.
do want to get to a point where I'm just an entrepreneur so I can be home more and more
But
present.
entrepreneurs are working every day, though,
They work
Alexis.
every day, but they can work at home.
Mhm.
So my presence is still in my kids' lives. I do
Yeah.
see how it can hurt relationships when that one parent is not physically in the household. The kids get angry at them, hold resentment towards them, they won't express it and things like that. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, I want to be a hands-on mom. I want to make sure that I'm there for every step of the way, which is actually
Right.
why like I made some career choice changes when I was in college because I was going to go the military route. But then I had to
Mm-hmm.
ask myself, what do I excuse me, what do I value more, family or career? And for me, it's family. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I know if I would have been in the military, I would have committed to 20 plus years in the military, like hands down. But so it's like for me, I know being in that long and becoming an officer, because I was like, I'm gonna become a lieutenant colonel. I don't care. Like I was like, I had goals, and it was like I wouldn't have been as present as I wanted to, especially
Mhm.
with the
Mhm.
potential of having to get deployed. So for me, I had to make some life changes. Even though my family didn't like my decision, I was like, it's my damn, it's
Girl,
my
you better drink
decision.
your wine.
It's my it's my decision to
That's why it's
understand.
there.
It's my decision to
Man,
understand
yeah. I
because
mean,
I have to live
honestly,
it. They don't.
personally, if I had my way, if I really had my way, I would want a housewife. I really would. And I say that as in because it makes everyone's job easier. This is where I agree with gender roles. Because again, I have learned there's this guy, Dr. Miles Monroe. He's like a deceased pastor. He was saying women are like incubators, right? You give them a sperm, they give you a baby. You give them groceries, they give you a meal. You give them a house, they make a home. They multiply everything times two to make sure everything's in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they're working just as hard as me in terms of a job per se, that means something is missing in the house or comfort
Mm-hmm.
in the house. Something's going to be lacking. And, you know, it will, to me, it would be hard because now we both fight in the world and still trying to maintain a house versus if somebody's maintaining the house and I just bring the money and the food in and she's safe and
Mm-hmm.
sound, it makes it better. I'm not saying that's how
Bless
everybody
you.
should be, but that's just thinking. That's just how um, I would like it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a guarantee. Of course, she can have a small time job, but if she's able to distribute the money properly and I can just bring the money in and the food in, then I'm straight. I will literally be okay.
Hmm. So how do you make time for each other though if the load is all on you?
No, 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 not the load. Not the load is not all on me
Okay.
because again, it think about it because in most relationships now, if husband and wife don't have kids, somebody got
Mm-hmm.
to clean the dishes, somebody got to clean the bathroom, somebody got to clean the den, whatever, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
But and they have to go to work. So both of y'all tired. Versus if one person is going to work to bring the money in, and the other person is organizing the house and making sure everything's afloat with the money that I bring in, that's two
Mm-hmm.
separate jobs. And that's one less job I got to worry about with the house. And that's one less job of her waking up to do a 9 to 5 and then come home and cook and clean.
Hmm.
Now, again, I can help. That doesn't mean I'm not cleaning, but I'm just saying in a sense, like if I'm working from again 9 to 5, she can wake up
Mm-hmm.
at 10 to 4 or whatever and just wash dishes, cook dinner when it's ready, and I don't know the simple stuff. And then she got all the time for herself to get herself better mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. While I go to work and I work my 9 to 5, whatever. I come home tired, but yay, I'm happy because there's a home cooked meal there, and she can rub my head, and rub my back to make me feel like I'm safe at home. And the story, and she can get some dick. So as
You
reciprocal
muted, Nay,
partners,
so we can't even hear.
Mute.
Here's
Can you hear?
Cause I knew y'all
now
was
we can.
saying something.
Cause
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
Did
was.
you see? Did you see that?
Uh-uh.
He just threw up on me.
She threw up a whole lot.
He literally
yikes,
just
tough.
threw up on me. But no, John, I was saying, I feel you on that because before I even really thought about having kids, I used to be like, oh, I wouldn't mind being, a stay at home mom, like that to take, because like I said, I love to be with my daughter. If I ain't got to go to work, I would love to. Okay, go to your daddy real quick. As I'm saying, I love to sit here and be with my daughter. No, but I
hmm
love to sit at home. I like to cook. I like to sit here and be at home. So I wouldn't mind doing it. I used to always think about doing it, but I feel like how Alexis said, as long as I get to do cause listen, I like to shop. I like to do things with money. So I want to be able to support my own hobbies, my own likes, whatever. I don't want you necessarily to have to support all of that. So you could support paying the bills, yada yada yada. But any out extra money, I would want that to be, me making that on my own. So like having your business, having a business or whatever on the side, you can do that. You're still staying at home because you pretty much 9 times out of 10 the things that we want to do, we're making our own products. We're shipping things out ourselves. Like we're doing everything pretty much
Yeah.
kind of ourselves, and still have that.
Do you want
Mhm.
to?
And still
Because
have that
at the
space
end of
to
the
be able.
yeah, because at the end of the day, we still want to work with our hands and do something. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not necessarily a problem staying at home. It's just what can I do for myself
Hmm.
besides chores and taking care of the kids. Where I have like my own
Yo, me
peace of mind.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
because being a stay-at-home mom, that's a
that's
whole
right.
a
That's why I was
whole
like,
job in itself.
right. That's why I was like, I don't mind it as long as I can like have my own business and occupy my time
That
besides
balance.
just housework. Yeah. But staying at
Mhm.
home, that honestly, that's ideal. Just like I want to have a home birth. Like there are a
You
lot of
really want
things
to have
that
a home birth? Listen,
yes,
I,
I
I
do not
I
trust. I
feel
do not
you.
trust hospitals. I don't.
Listen, I feel you because that's what me and uh Ellington's mom was going to do, a home birth. However, when there's complications like C-sections and stuff, you don't have the proper
Yeah.
tools at a home birth that a hospital would have. Now, I understand it is way cheaper to do a home birth than it is a hospital birth. However, it is to me, even though it's more comfortable for your home, I don't think it's necessarily safe because again,
Hmm.
not every birth is just going to go, you know, sunshine and roses.
Hmm.
It's gonna have some complications there and there. Now there are a lot of midwives who are trained to fix problems like that. Okay, not discrediting any midwife or anything like that. However, I think in a professional standard, in a professional building, with professional people who have probably done this 1,000 times over, to
Hmm.
make sure the baby lives and is healthy. Of course, the hospital is the way. And again, I'm not discrediting the
Hmm.
midwives, but it just seems more safe. It just seems more safe.
Yeah. I could
But like
understand
with
if
my,
like if I needed
go
a
ahead.
C-section. I was saying I can understand like
Exactly.
if I had to get a C-section and do what you got to do, don't be stupid. You know what I mean? Like do what you got to do. You know you have to go to the hospital. But like if I
Hmm.
can deliver the baby naturally, no complications, I would love to be at home
Hmm.
and have like a water birth. You know what I'm saying? I would love that. That's just there's something just really intimate about that where they're not taking my baby away from me, but my baby's in
Hmm.
my arms after I just delivered them.
Hmm.
I think about those things. Like I want the baby's first touch to be the parents, not the,
I mean,
not
if
the
they're gonna
doctor.
do
Because
that anyway, they're gonna
it's just
they're required to do it because it's the what it called skin to skin contact. I think that's what it's called.
hmm
Like when as
yeah.
soon as the baby is born, they wipe it off and give it straight to the mother because the chemical, I guess, physical connection
hmm
needs to be confirmed. You are my mother. This is this. You know.
hmm
Um, And of course, I did it when Ellington was born. Like, no, I'm lying. Like a month when Ellington was born is when I did skin to skin. And there was nothing against me not wanting to do skin to skin. It's just I understood she's a girl and she needs a mother's touch or a mother's connection,
hmm
Um, and that's why I gave that time up per se for that skin to skin contact. And then the moment that ship sailed, then I did it. So she'll know, okay, this is something different. Who is this? And then they'll understand this is dad. You got used to mom, but this is dad. This is his skin. This is his scent. This is his strength. This is his whatever. And then she'll know the difference, literally the difference between the two. The feminine side of a mother with the strength of her dad. But she needs the feminine side of her mother first, and then she'll know. I think instinctively, that's I guess how babies work. Um, who brings the testosterone in the family, or the strength of the family in that sense.
hmm
So by all means, I you could do the birth at home. I just I didn't really have a say. I just kind of did it, and I just supported however I needed to,
Hmm.
because I wasn't nervous or anything. I'm facing this head on. Let's get this started.
Hmm.
Right.
The only downfall was for me. I just gained weight. So what? I lost sleep and gained weight.
That's
It's
all
not
you
that
did.
big.
Reminds me of what we go through.
No, 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 no. Hold on. I was right along there with her with all that issue. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
No, no, but I'm just saying, like, all the changes we go through and all this shit, it's like I think it's kind of easier for y'all because when when you
BS.
having a baby, y'all ain't go through half the stuff that we go through.
Time out. Time out. Oh, you know what? And this is not to me. This is not to say your job was harder than ours. Regardless of how you feel, it is true. The way that your body changes during the whole 9 months is hard. But at the end of the day, you have to take in consideration people around you who are trying to help you in that situation during your first 9 months. It gets hard on them too. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, when your daughter was when you were 7 to 8 months pregnant, you couldn't really sleep comfortable, right? You normally had to sit up.
Yeah, I had to have hella pillow.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I had to deal with that with Ellington's mom. She couldn't sleep any kind of way. So what I did, I sat up in a way that she could sleep on me, so that way she could be comfortable. That's something we have to told just as much as you could. If for us, we went to the doctor 2 times in a row at 4 o'clock in the morning because she was having the contractions that were signaling she was giving birth. The first one was false. The second one, it was the actual day. I had to be there. I was shit tired because I had to get up that same day to go to work at 7 in the morning and go to a second job that I didn't get off until 8:30, and still have enough energy to make sure that she got to the hospital safe. So we are just in the same realm of difficulty, just we don't have a child inside of us. We gotta do the extra stuff that you're not able
Hmm.
to do. When your feet swollen, who rubbing your feet?
Yeah, I
Or
feel
when your
it.
back hurting. When your back hurting. Come on, you ain't doing it yourself. We just ain't got the baby inside of us. Josh, I got you, man. I got you. We here. Just say it, man. Just say it.
Except for the water, that was funny. What's the next segment?
Got a question
Trust
though.
the
I
deck.
got a question.
What's up?
What?
I got a question. So, this is for the ladies. Why is it y'all post these innuendo sexual pictures on Instagram, but don't be wanting dudes to come at y'all and be like, why he sliding in my DMs, knowing that guys like that stuff? Why do y'all post not those windows, those mirror pictures or these sexy clothes that y'all don't want no attention?
Because we may be targeting towards one person and not the other people.
Okay.
So that's why we be like, why they sliding into my DMs? But if we just single as a dollar bill and our eyes aren't focused on nobody, then we'll entertain who we choose to entertain. You will not hear her complain about a woman getting DMs if she wants them. Now, if she's trying to get somebody's attention, that's a whole different story. She'll be like, ugh, like y'all aren't even on my
Yeah,
radar.
this is the one that's supposed to be there.
Right.
But y'all would use social media to get his attention?
You're watching.
How come you can't just give him a picture through like his phone, like a text message?
That's
That's
too
straight to
much.
the
Mhm.
point.
That's too easy. It's too easy. We difficult, and we got to go the difficult route and make it a little bit harder than just to be able to send
Like
you the picture.
what?
I can't just sit here. I mean, not
Because
necessarily me.
sometimes I guess we want to be like, we want to hear, like, oh, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I
He could
guess
do
it's
that through an actual text. Duh. You're like, I see you.
mhm,
He could.
true,
And then
true.
on top of that, he would know that you interested because you sent it to him. Unless you out here just send it to everybody.
Got you.
Now
That
you
makes
get what
sense.
you want. Now you get what you want. But instead, a lot of these women out here, I'm not calling no names or anything, but they be posting these pictures, and they be like wearing
half
the
naked.
absolute most half naked, whatever. And then on another post, they be like, "Why are these dudes sliding in my DMs like this?" But it's
You
like
know,
half of your pictures on Instagram be like stuff that dudes want.
another thing is because I actually knew someone that was kind of like that. It's for the attention to feel wanted, I guess, in a sense.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
guys do want me. It's some women is attention hungry and
Attention
loves
They
whore.
be like,
that.
"Do I
Attention
still
whore. Yeah.
got it?"
Yeah, not even necessarily I still got it. They may not get attention like that. They may not get the attention that they want.
Mm.
So they feel like, okay, now niggas is all up in my DMs because this picture. Why y'all in my DMs? I don't want y'all. Then gotta make it a big old scene like she really like got hella niggas out here. Like it's
Right.
women that's still like that. It's a whole lot of women that's still like that.
They need to get over themselves. Number one, y'all just need to grow a set and say, "Hey, I like you." What is wrong with women doing that? How come they can't just go to the? Well, no, let me not say that. Let me not say that. There's a lot of women who don't do that. Who will like never approach a dude and say, "I like you" or whatever, and let's do something. And it's only because they want the chase. Again, it's not all women who do this. There are some ballsy women who are like that, and I give them like mad respect for it. But I don't know. It just seems like if they want something, go get it. And if it doesn't happen, it don't happen. But if it does, it does. But it seems like
Mhm.
they want the chase more than the pursuit. I mean, of course, we talked about this. I don't know how many sessions ago because we had like
But I
8 sessions
mean,
on
bring
it.
real Josh in on that. You know what I'm saying? Because he might have a different opinion than you or Dre did.
Ask it again.
Because he has been quiet lately,
Wait,
huh?
answer because I'm listening. Answer the question again.
I was basically saying some women want a guy to chase them or pursue them, even though it may be easier for them to actually chase a guy or pursue a guy that they want. Okay, let me rephrase. If they tell a dude that they like him, that cuts all the BS and they get straight to the point. Because guys like straight to the point. A lot of women
Some of
won't
y'all
do
don't.
that.
Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all don't.
Bruh, y'all let me sure. Get straight
Okay,
to
what
the
was the
point.
question again?
I was saying, why do women not want to like be straight up?
Why don't men or women
Tell
want to
a
be straight
Why
guy,
up?
don't we be straight up?
Hmm. That dates back to the golden days when they was taught like, oh yeah, the man is supposed to ask the woman to be married, the man is supposed to pursue the
yeah,
woman. That's like ideal that has
yeah,
been graded since like the dawn of time. Because I actually seen this post and it was like, um, why no, why don't women shoot their shot? There's a WNBA too, and that made a lot of sense when you think about it. Because it's like, well,
that's so true.
some dudes actually is have shy tendencies and can't help that like mentally. So you may miss out on the
Yeah,
blessing because of, your pride and what you were taught. But I mean, everybody doing everything nowadays, so it's like I don't understand why women can't put themselves out there because I guess then again like there's more men chasing women than women's gonna chase men. So why would she like ask somebody you know something when she got 10
to
others
do it.
trying to get at
Yeah.
her? So it's like, why beat him because I had 10 others getting at me. So that gets
But
a
No,
little
I get you.
serious. Yeah, that gets a little serious
but
though.
it could it also be just the simple fact that it's just a fear of rejection
No,
to
because we get rejected too much.
Girl,
That's
hold
the
on.
thing.
We get rejected all the time.
It's all the
All the
time. So
time.
that's what I'm saying.
We
So
get
yeah.
curved
But
so
women got
hard.
egos too, and
Girl, what?
rejection hurts a woman sometimes.
Okay, but why
It
is it
hurts to
different?
do too, but we still keep going.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. That's the
But you got to
sad part.
realize
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we were
You
taught
ain't got a
because we
choice.
were taught one way, and then we do go out of that original norm to shoot your shot. It is a little nerve wracking because that's not what you normally do or were raised to do. So it is a
Does that
little
make you feel
daunting.
insecure?
Like,
Normal
ooh, is this
is
what rejection feel like? You know what I mean? So it's like, ooh,
Hey,
let me be
welcome to the
careful.
man world, player. We
you know what
get
I'm saying. But
curved
this
by
is
y'all
this is
all
the
the
thing. This is the thing. This is the thing. If a woman gets rejected by a dude, that doesn't matter because she got another dude hitting on her tomorrow. So like
time.
us,
Yep.
we don't get hit on like that unless she like famous. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to
That's
the
right, Josh.
groupies. So
Tell them what it is.
when it comes to truth, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to
Tell them
say.
what it is.
Yeah,
So
so
repeat what you just said.
Bro, y'all got people in line waiting for y'all.
Like the last part that you just said.
what's the last thing
What,
I
me?
said? I said, oh, we gotta, hold on, we gotta put the
You
charger.
talking
Hold
about
on.
me or him?
No, I
Oh,
wanted him to repeat the last part that he said about
he
women.
basically was saying, he was basically saying, like, um, if a guy shoots his shot and gets rejected, it doesn't matter because you guys still got dudes wanting to come to y'all. Like, y'all still got a line of people who may be
Oh,
interested. For us, we low key gotta fight for it because ain't no women really coming to us like that. We're the ones who gotta reach out to you guys. And for us, okay, let me not say for us. For me, it seems like a lot of women just sits and waits for a man to come sweep them off their feet instead of putting some kind of work in. And for some dudes, we not about it. It's like, hey, you come to me just like as much as I come to you. That's why I said I'd rather have a woman pursue me, and then instead of her just sitting there. Because if
So
she's not
you
pursuing
okay?
me
So
and chasing me, we're not gonna learn each other.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So what?
A
Okay. So
lot of
I pursue you. I'm pursuing you, but you ain't showing nothing back. Then what?
then that means he's not interested. Then you just gotta take that L and take it as a lesson. We gotta do the same thing. So I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna
every
tell you
day
why.
of our
Because
lives.
I was gonna say there's a lot of dudes out there who would take a girl out on a date and her only intentions are to get a free meal. But he really trying to learn.
That's a real thing. That's a real thing.
And then he trying to learn her and then she curve him. And now guess what you gotta do? Take that L and keep it pushing. Y'all can take that L too. Y'all egos ain't that big, or shouldn't be that big. Just suck it up like it's over. That's how things happen. You may miss your husband by not speaking up. I don't know. Just saying.
So
I
since
ain't
y'all
no.
are hearing this, do y'all understand now?
We've
Mm-hmm.
been like having some type of understanding of it, but
Okay.
Right.
it's just getting the chance to actually hear from you guys' point of view, like hearing you guys actually
I
speak
guess
it
I'm
and
asking, do
kind of.
y'all agree?
I
Okay,
mean, I
now
Well,
agree.
that's my question.
yeah.
Okay.
Change is good. It's the transition that's hard.
Y'all just taking
Mhm.
forever to do it. Y'all
No.
taking. Man, listen, dudes are still chasing since the dawn of time.
Mhm.
And I want a man who chases and hunts and pursues me, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then again, y'all just sit there. To me, I'm not a freaking entertainment clown. I'm not juggling through hoops to impress you. It's either you with it or you not. Maybe it's just me being selfish in that manner, but I'll come to the realization is if a woman does not want to know my flaws, ins and outs, pursue me to make me happy, whatever, I don't want her. I don't want her because that's called laziness, and that is
Yeah,
called
that's not
pampering
selfish
and
at all. I
spoiled brat.
understand that.
That's a spoiled brat,
Right.
and I can't do it because now if I am down and out, she doesn't know how to communicate with me because she never took the time from jump to do it.
Right.
She has to do it when we're actually together or close to being together. But I have a 3 month head start on you trying to talk to you and try to know your weak spots, you know? So they can miss me with that.
Understandable.
Yeah.
As I smoke again.
Next one.
I don't know. Do you have a question that you want to ask?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, to me?
Yeah.
Mm, why is it so hard for women to swallow their pride?
Because they're women. That's the best way I can
Yeah,
put
but
it.
then, isn't it? But then, see, do you ever notice how to say, "Oh, well, that's a stereotype because women can do everything men can do"? Well, it's like, why isn't that acceptable for you to swallow your pride? How we swallow our pride?
They can't. They can't. I can just answer that for you. They can't.
Y'all women
It's
can, y'all like
ingrained in
women
them
can
to
do it.
not do that.
It takes a lot of practice.
You see what I'm saying?
But
They
why?
can't.
Yeah, it takes work. Like you, but you have to be willing to put in the work because you got some people be like, I'm gonna work on it, but they really ain't gonna work on shit. And then you got some people like who will really be receptive to that type of feedback and be like, okay, let me actually do something about it if they want to be
Mm,
Mm,
better.
mm, okay.
But you have to have that desire to always want to be the best version of you though. And if you know pride is one of those things that gets in your way, then those who really want to fix it will actually fix it.
Why do women never want to be wrong?
We
I
always
really. What?
I said because
We're
we
natural.
always right. I'm just playing.
We're natural debaters. So it's
Women
like
or
we're natural debaters. So it's like we're going to argue. We're going to make our argument to the death because we are representing our side. We're
So
natural debaters.
I got a question. Why do women say gender equality, right? But at the end of the day, y'all still the same. You're not supposed to hit a girl, or
tell him.
you're supposed to.
Oh, Josh,
Are you
you
supposed to? No,
speak.
I
We
really don't get
just
that.
talked about
I'll never
this.
get that as long as
Josh,
I
let me
live.
tell you why. Because we talked about that like 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And I'm glad you on here today. Because you need to hear their explanation. Because I don't think they gave one.
All right, let me hear it.
I did.
Did y'all?
I
No.
said, I did. I said for me, it's a balance.
You say it's
Because
a balance.
I said there are certain things that I want gender equality in, but in terms of the relationship, I would prefer gender role because there are certain things I cannot do as the woman, and there's certain things he can't do as the man. So it's like
But
I
that's what I said.
understand that dynamic, but I do want both in my life.
So basically, you want gender equality for what you want gender
But
equality
that's
for.
not me saying I'm gonna be out
Yeah.
here just fighting niggas, just to fight niggas because it's like, oh, gender equality. Like, no, I'm not gonna fight you and you 6'5". Like, what do I look like? I'm 5'5".
You think he
A
can?
Why?
dumbass.
Like, what the? I would be dumb as hell with no common sense. My mom would be like, "Who raised you?" If I'm out here like trying to squab up with a 6'5" or whoever, 225-pound dude, for what? Why?
There are women who do that. I'm sorry.
Well, my goal is really not to fight you physically in the first place. Like, why would I? Why?
Okay,
You're
I
putting
guess I can
yourself in that
understand it. No, I can
because
understand it. I can understand that.
you're putting yourself in that position. You made that conscious decision that you want to get your ass popped,
Go ahead.
Pretty much.
Okay, I can understand that.
and to me, it's all fair game. Like you assaulted them, so it's like I don't know. Maybe it depends on where you come from, but where I'm from, mm-mm. Hey, mom.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
That's good. I gotta go. Flies flying.
Wait, is tomorrow 4th of July?
Not my holiday.
She said hi, mom. So you can
All right,
let them
exactly. It ain't my holiday.
My holiday was a couple weeks ago.
Was a couple weeks ago.
I was living my best life. What?
Side note: they're ordering a blackout for Black people to not buy anything from the 4th to the 7th to
Yes,
show where the power lies in terms of economics.
I started that a couple weeks
So
ago.
yeah, the projection is to be like $10 billion that we can do in the matter of those 3 days.
Yes. Do you know what that
It's
can do?
possible to
Buy
do.
some land. Buy land.
Literally, a lot of it.
All of it. All of it. Buy
We don't
it.
need all of it. We just need
Yes,
we
we
just
do.
need a half of it.
I don't want
We
just
need
a little
all of the
town.
land in the United
Yep.
States.
I don't want just no little town up to call it Black Wall Street. I want the whole country. God damn it! Every state got a
You want the
Black
whole?
Wall Street. Every state got a Black Wall
Well,
Street.
yeah,
That helps. Can y'all see
So
but
the
we
we need
need
to
better now?
buy
the
it
whole
all.
country.
Yep. Every state should have something with some Black business owners. Something. Yep. Why
They
not? They
do.
got it. They got it.
We
Okay, I can
do.
see
So
that in
it's
We just
like
need it
they
to
got
be
them
bigger.
50 states. Why can't we get our little piece of the pie in the 50 states? We don't even want your blackberry pie. We over here with our peach cobbler. So it's like mind your business while we over here doing our thing. If you don't want to
I got a
support, you
question.
don't have to. Mm-hmm.
Okay, how come some girls don't support polygamous relationships?
because
Because we don't share.
Wait, go
didn't we
ahead.
touch on this a couple of days ago? We not sharing.
We don't share. That's my dick. Like, not yours. I'm not going to be on no clock
Okay,
But
talking
you
about
got
you're
a
supposed to
choice.
see me in 3
but
hours.
but this is where I'm gonna catch y'all both at.
But
And
he
my
gives
brother,
you the
pay
same
attention.
love.
Look, look,
No,
check
I
this out.
want all that love. What? You
He
bust
gonna
one
give
Okay,
you
nut
the
for
same
one
amount you
woman.
need.
okay, check
You
this
bust
out.
your nut for one
Yeah, he
woman.
can.
Hold on, because I want to hear what he finna
Okay,
say.
because I'm finna
Hold
get
on.
y'all both on.
Sorry.
So nowadays, right? Some girls go both ways, correct?
That's true.
No.
Okay,
Well,
Yep.
so
some
why?
yes, some do. Yeah.
So why is it that she can go both ways? She'll get with a girl. She gets out of a girl. She go to dude, but she can't have a girl and a dude in the same house.
If that's
Wait, and with that being said, how in the world are you gonna possibly say, "Oh, that's wrong," when you or somebody you know have had that encounter? It was like, "Oh, I don't share," but you sharing yourself in a way, just without
You
knowing.
got a point.
Well,
Don't
Got
that's
a
be
point.
judging.
different.
No, it's
That's
not
That's
different.
different.
That's
not
the
different.
same thing. What do you mean? How's that
It's the
different?
same thing. It's
That
the
is very
exact
much
same
different.
thing.
But I don't
Exactly. If a
share.
girl goes both ways and she gets tired of her nigga, she could go to a girl and be
But
satisfied,
if
right?
but if she don't go both ways, it doesn't apply to her.
But he
I
used
mean,
the
I
example
personally
of a
don't,
girl who
but
goes both ways.
all girls do not go
Well,
both
then
ways.
that's a
mostly.
discussion they need to have if they want to deal with two relationships. Even though
I think it's
it's
easier.
one whole relationship, they're still separate in some way because you still have alone time with them as well as
Mhm.
group time. Fucking orgies.
Okay, is it a territorial thing
Basically,
It's
that
called a
if
Yes,
threesome.
he
women
has
are
two girls?
territorial. Just like y'all mark y'all territory, we mark ours too. Nope, mine. Nope.
I
What you
mean,
gonna
we
say,
can't
John?
knock it. No, I was saying we can't knock it because dudes are territorial too. Now again, if
And that's who we learned
again
it
we are
from.
more, but we no. I think we are so more like trophy getters versus women are not necessarily trophy getters. It's how can I explain it? It's more socially acceptable for a guy to be around a lot. It's kind of like normal. This is what we say. Oh, he's just being a man if he sleeps with so and so and so and so and so and so. But a girl gets called promiscuous or Jezebel or a
Hmm.
hoe if she does the exact same thing. I think now in today's generation, dudes don't care. Dudes don't care because if we are doing it, y'all can do it too. And more so, men want experienced women versus someone who is new to the game, because they would know how to satisfy them because they got some miles on them. Some people don't want new cars; they need some old kind of cars, so they know what they need. It all just depends on the woman. Um, and again, when it comes to territory, that's just how we are. We dominate anything that we see or anything that we want. In this case, women. That's the way cookie crumbles. I think we are the only species that would only want and accept like monogamous relationships. I can in the animal kingdom it's completely different. They can have multiple females and the other female has no issue with it as long as they take care of the child and her. It's just
Yeah.
how it is.
Why do
Agree
y'all
to
think
disagree.
that's wrong though? Because
It's wrong.
we have a mutual friend. He's in a polygamous relationship, and
Okay.
I brought that up to her. She lost her mind. It was kind of funny.
I mean, to be honest, do the girls know each other?
They know each other. Yeah,
did they know each other
they
before
knew each other
They
as
should know
well.
each other very well
they
at
both
this
his
Now.
baby
point.
mama?
They gay.
Right.
But wait, aren't they both his baby mama?
Yeah,
Okay, and they both go both ways.
yeah.
So in a situation like that, it's easier for me to be gay. I mean, not gay, but me to be bisexual and I like a woman, and he wants an extra.
Hmm.
It'll work.
It's a
But if I'm not,
no-brainer.
if I don't go that way, then no, I'm not sharing. I don't care.
So
I
it's
don't go
only for
share.
the heterosexual woman that was not sharing.
Hmm.
No, because you have some
So basically
heterosexual
for the
women that will still
heterosexual woman.
share. I don't think it's about your sexual orientation. I think it's about if you're willing to share your partner. There are some women who are like, you can go have your time with her and then come back to me. Some people don't want to share the same bedroom setting where you're all three fucking. they'll just be like, you can go fuck her and then come back over here. So it's not just a threesome all the time.
Remember, I was
Oh,
telling you
okay.
about our friend that's considering this situationship.
You sound
I don't want to say
stressed.
her name on here. Uh-huh. I talk to her all the time. We
We'll
talk to
keep
her.
privacy real.
Okay.
We'll keep privacy real.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
So yeah. So remember, we was talking about that situation. I'm sorry. We was
Like
talking
what?
about that situation.
Take your
No, because
time.
he wanted to know who.
I
So
know. I don't know. I should have known.
he
Man.
was set up on wanting to know who. So he had to know.
I forgot. I
But
knew before. I just forgot.
But in her situation, not to be putting it out there like that, but in her situation, it was I want him so bad, pretty much. Like I want him in my life. Then this is what I'm gonna be acceptable. You know, I'm gonna accept you being with her and me at the same time.
It's
You do
really
what
not
you do.
that bad.
So you would want to be in
Why
a
are you
relationship.
yelling?
I'm not yelling. Would you want to be in a relationship with a woman who still has another nigga on the other side?
If I
Not
was gay,
necessarily a side
if I was
nigga.
Oh,
No,
gay,
you're
hold
straight. You're
on.
straight.
Your energy. Hold on. Hold on.
Because no,
Take it. Hold
no, no.
Okay,
No,
so
if I was a
am I the
homosexual,
main or the side?
do it. But
You
see,
know what? Quite frankly,
but you're
it
straight.
wouldn't even matter.
You're a straight man, and I have a whatever he is. You gonna
okay,
be okay with that?
are we married?
No,
No,
Y'all been together for 5, 6 years.
that don't mean shit. Listen, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It has to be straight up. Like if if I'm a main or a side, she giving up something that I want. End of the story, right? And it's basically up to her for her loyalty to fall with whoever she feels safe and comfortable with. So if she having sex with old dude on one day, but having sex with another dude on the other day, um, does it really matter? Because right now she's swinging fence. But if she's hanging out with one dude longer than the other, regardless of their sexual activities, that's who she has her loyalty to. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. Women are loyal to a fault to whoever is stronger in whatever angle that is, regardless who gives good D to you or not. Both of y'all can give them good. Both of the dudes can give her like great dick, but if one is keeping her safe and secure, that's the one who she's gonna lean more towards and give up more ass to. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
okay. I mean, you got your point.
I'm just. I mean, it's easier to think of it that way. Why do y'all look so defeated when
We weren't
you say
prideful
like
and say
shit?
that you're wrong. We said you're right.
It's like y'all look so defeated.
Okay,
We're
what's
the
up?
I'm just
natural
wondering.
debaters.
You got a
Don't you
question?
have one right here? Like, can I pick it? I cut. Hold on, I got
Why
one.
do
Hold
y'all
on.
like to argue though? Like that's my thing. Everything ain't
Because we
worthy of
make
an
up
argument.
sex after. It is amazing.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You argue to have sex
Oh
instead of
yeah,
just saying let's
No,
have
I
sex.
don't argue to have sex. That is a reason why it happened.
That is a
Alexis.
reason.
Hmm?
We remember our
Oh,
colorism thing. Let's talk about that.
Oh, so dating and dealing with coloring.
What is
Yeah,
colorism in terms of this situation?
In terms of this situation, meaning like you have a
light
preference
skin
of
guy.
light skin versus dark skin, things of that sort.
We still do that? Are you serious?
Some really
we
still
still
do
do
that.
that.
That's so alive.
Still
And
do
there's a
that.
Swear.
movie. There's a movie I told Alexis about. It's dark girls and light girls. They're two different ones, but they're in the same, family. Y'all gotta watch those.
Context.
They're really real.
We really still do that? Man, okay.
Yes.
Man, it's team black woman at this point. It ain't even about light skin, dark skin. It's team black woman. But I
I
don't
just
know.
don't
It's
get
probably
it.
because of okay, I can explain why. There's two reasons I think. One, they think that the light skinned girl has a snobby attitude because she's light skinned and she gets more play. Um, and the dark girl is much more aggressive. or the dark skinned girl is really down to earth and no, not right. I'm sorry, not down to earth. Ghetto and untrained in this. I'm not gonna say untrained, but quote unquote per se. And
Hmm.
the light skinned girl is much more controlled and has a fair chance of an opportunity in life because she's light skinned.
This sounds like
A lot
house
of
nigga and field nigga mentality.
that's
Yeah,
basically what it is. House nigga is the one that because they were lighter, they were closer to the slave master. They had a chance to be closer to the table. Versus the field nigga because they were too dark, they got distance. So the slave who was in the house felt better about themselves because they were close to quote unquote the power that be. Um, versus the field nigga who was like, well, I feel less than because I'm too far away from the house. Some of the field niggas were not even allowed to be a certain distance to the house because they were dark. So, and on top of that, I'm not sure if you guys heard of the Willie Lynch letter.
yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, the Willie Lynch letter basically is the reason why we still have Team Light Skin, Team Dark Skin. He basically used in his letter a way to separate mentally the slaves. So he said in one of the passages, the master must treat the slave who is lighter more civil because it will separate the dark person and they will think that's significant. But because that happens, they start hating each other, even though they are
Hmm.
both slaves. They would never see it coming. And he compared fat slaves to skinny slaves. He would bring the skinny slave more closer to the house than the fat slave, and then they would have beef with each other, even though they are both still slaves. It's basically dividing and conquering the slaves to hate each other, but still worry about the master and try to please the master more. That's how the slaves were kept in line. Take the
Hmm.
body, keep the mind. You know? And so when it comes to Team Light Skin and Team Dark Skin, nowadays it shouldn't be an issue. It's basically Team Black Woman at this point. That's all in between. Whether you white as whatever or dark as night and still look bomb, like that's just me. I take all chocolate.
Hmm.
Chocolate is good for the soul.
Alexis, can you shed some light on the colorism that you faced growing up?
Mm, I mean, for me, I grew up in an area where it started out as it was more of a white neighborhood until it became started to become more diverse because people that were living like in Oakland, Richmond, Hercules, Vallejo and shit, they started gravitating more towards like the Vacaville Fairfield area. So for me, I got teased just for the hell of it. Like I would get teased, my hair is too curly, it's too big, it's this, that, and the third. People trying to touch my hair out of curiosity and all type of stuff. But it got to a point. I think I stopped dealing with it the moment I started fighting back.
Hmm.
So I did used to get bullied until I started beat people's ass.
Oh,
So you responded
like
with
fist fighting.
aggression.
Yeah, like for me, I had to survive. So it was like if I'm gonna get picked on every single day, I'm gonna have to figure something out. Primary example, when I was in preschool, this little boy would pull my hair every day, and his grandma would tell him, "Stop pulling that cute little baby hair, or as one day
She
she
gonna
gonna
pop
get
your
you."
ass. She gonna
I
pop
grabbed
your
the
ass.
boy and I knocked his tooth out, and he never messed with me ever again.
Tough. Damn, tough.
Survival,
Jesus.
honestly, survival. Because it's like at some point you get tired of it. Because I was a quiet one. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like I
yeah.
minded my business, but then it got to the point where I'm like, all right, you're doing too much.
I
You
mean,
know,
it's probably
as
different between.
girls, as girls, we had to deal with guys trying to look up under our skirts. So now I got to whip their ass too.
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just probably different for women and men. I think women
Yeah.
get more scrutinized with
Well,
the light skin, dark skin,
Mhm.
because I think it is what it is. But it also helps with guys too. Me personally, I never had that issue because all the girls that liked me was because I was tall. That it was because I'm tall and I wasn't short. And most women like tall men for whatever the reason is.
Right.
times out of 10 it was
And
a short woman.
yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
wait,
like,
they go.
No way, let him finish
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
no, it's cool. You can talk. It was just saying, like, for me, it was the color. My skin was never the issue because I was tall, and women love tall men. So I had an advantage off rip because I'm 6'3", and women want men who are at least 5'10" and above, or most cases 5'10" or above.
We really
Yeah,
just want
and
somebody tall enough that when we wear some 5-inch heels, you still taller. That's
we
really what
still
it
the same.
is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why though?
I don't know. It just looks sexy. I don't
Cause
know.
you don't,
Something
cause
about it.
look,
Yeah, you.
if you put on some heels, and then I'm taller than you, then what? I don't want to be
Nothing.
taller than you. You
I
be like, I
mean
heels
that,
don't
but
fit
I
me.
mean in that
You
sense,
just
if
got
he a
heels
grown
on.
ass man and he still can handle me, I don't give a fuck.
You just got heels on. That's all it is. Nothing.
So when I take them off,
Yeah, you still short. Like that. Exactly. Like if I met a chick who was 5'10", right? Or no,
mm,
5'8", and she wore some 5-inch heels. She is my height. She is my height, and I still don't care because take them shoes off. Guess who's taller naturally?
Oh,
Miss me with that.
I be scared my baby
Miss,
gonna fall.
yeah, she gonna think she can look down on me. I'm like, take them heels off and let's see how you really feel. Miss me.
ooh,
Okay.
Miss me.
Moving back to
Question.
the colorism. What have you experienced growing up with colorism?
um, but like middle school, I
Start
don't
from the
know.
bottom. Start from the bottom and grow up.
Middle school is when I started to experience it.
What did you
Um,
experience?
where did I go to middle school? I was in Bay Point when I was going to middle school, and it was mostly
Where'd
like
he go?
Mexicans. He's still here.
Jonathan.
He's still here.
I'm still
His
here.
video just finished on. He's still
Oh,
here.
okay, okay.
But
Yeah.
middle school, I was at school with like a lot of Mexicans and stuff like that. And me being a darker girl, it was all type of burnt biscuits, all type of like
Damn.
look.
Shit.
And
whoop
I don't know,
that
like every
trick.
dark
No, I'm just
skinned woman,
playing.
huh?
I said whoop
What you
that
say?
trick. No,
Nigga, that's a
No,
fade
for
in
real.
my book.
It made you get like hella defensive to it because I don't know. That's why I was wondering, like, with the whole when dark skinned women became a thing, like it became, oh, dark skins are popping,
Mm-hmm.
I choose a dark skin over a light skin now. Like I was wondering when did that start because a lot of us dark skinned women in middle school or elementary school or whatever, it was the type people was saying, oh, you're a burnt biscuit or anything to try to put you down about being a dark skinned person.
I would say 10 years
So,
ago.
Huh?
I would say 10 years ago when the dark skin was popping. Because I think at that time, was that 2010? I think at that time, black people were realizing that all black skin is beautiful because that's when we were more put on display from white cops killing black people. And we just had to wake up and understand that we value just us in general. Um, Back when you were in middle school, back when we were in middle school, we didn't get that quote unquote exposure like we do now, where everybody got a phone to see what white people are doing to us. We're not all of us, the ones who are.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized it didn't matter what color you were, we just get killed, period. And Black Girl Magic came out. So that around that time, people were embracing being smart, intelligent, and you black. Dark skin, light skin, caramel skin, don't matter. It was just black woman who was just beautiful and intelligent and setting a trend, you know? It was just
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate in middle school days that that had happened because, again, during our age, we weren't seeing what other middle schoolers are seeing right now.
Yeah. I have a question then. What about your hair?
wait, can I
Because
shed some light on all that? Thank you. Go ahead, what you was gonna say, and I'm gonna answer.
Because I was gonna say, like we also battle with the issue with our hair because you have generations before us who are like, why is your hair like nappy or naturally curly right now? Like, go do something with it. Go put a hot comb to your hair. Go
It's
put
the
a
social
straightener.
standard back then. It was just a
Yeah, but
social standard.
it's still going on. Like even like
No, really?
my mom's generation, they can't understand natural hair. They need that hair crack that get their hair
Hmm.
relaxed.
Oh,
all that.
they're different generation than us. Again, we are in a generation where
We're
it
like the
doesn't matter
70s.
who you are, we are all a target. And we got to embrace ourselves as black people. The 70s was that way. Everybody was rocking a natural fro. But then, of course,
And
the
yep.
Black Power movement and the Black Panther was saying embrace yourself, black is beautiful. But then, guess what happened? The 80s came and people started wearing Jerry curls and putting all these
Mm-hmm.
chemicals in their hair. You see what
Yep.
I'm saying? And then, over time, they start being more acceptable to look like their competition, which is a white person. But now,
It's like,
again, because
yep.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like 90s babies are like the reincarnation of the 70s babies. And then like 80s babies are like the
Yep.
50s and the 60s, where the dudes got the perms and stuff. Like if you look back at
And in the
groups
50s,
like
they
the
got conch.
Temptations,
Yep, the conch
like
hair is
look,
what they call it.
yeah, uh-huh. Like you
And
just look at all those
it's
groups.
yeah. And so I think now, I'm not gonna say not all black people, but when we see white people trying to copy us and our hairstyles and our styles, we're gonna embrace that 10 times over because now we know we got their attention versus the opposite way
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have you ever noticed that people? Well, not back way back. Let's just say 2000s to 2010, people were getting more. Well, in my experience, women were getting more weaves and more wigs and not showing their natural hair because they wanted to look more feminine in the white person's eyes.
Yes and no.
Nowadays, again, yeah, it's kind of in
Yeah.
the middle. But nowadays, it's kind of unapologetically black, and I don't care what you say. I'm still beautiful with my natural hair or not. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I, to be honest, since this whole unapologetically black movement, I have yet to see a woman with a wig or a weave. When I think about it, it's a natural hairstyle for them. I've always seen natural now. Now that I actually think about it, it's either they get in dreads, or they're or letting their hair curl up, or they cutting their hair. You know, it's just something to
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know what to call it, but yeah,
A revolution.
a revolution, niggas. I got a question for the ladies.
Mm-hmm. With this damn
Does
pipe.
size matter? Yes or no? And
Does
why?
what?
Wait, what was your question? Yeah, I missed that
Size
too. What?
matters.
Wait, before we
Does
get into
what?
wait, before we change that subject, because you said
Cool.
this live matter. With my little
I'm
last
listening,
little,
John.
with my little last piece of thought into this, the hair, the colorism. My mama is chocolate. Okay, my mama's a chocolate woman. She's chocolate. My daddy is a light bright. So me personally, I've had encounters with a lot of colorisms and good hair, and I'm explaining. So I guess when it comes to colorism, since like back in the slave days, now that like the light skin, quote unquote, came from like you had white in you. That's what they just say. They say
Mm-hmm.
where you get that light skin from somewhere down your line, you have European descent, and they say things like, okay, yeah, you black, but you ain't all the way black. So me
Fuck that
growing up,
shit.
my own sister, what?
No, I'm agreeing with you, but I hate that mentality of you ain't
I
all the way
do.
black because you light skinned.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like even my own sisters growing up and stuff, because my sister's light skin too. Like my sister Keisha, she would say like the J's, or she would say, "Oh, you think you mommy's favorite" and all that stuff. And it was just I didn't really get it till I got older, and I was like, all right, because you kind of see it in certain places when you go somewhere. Like I used to be wondering like why the hell like I got treated better, or this got this and they didn't. You know, like my nieces and cousins, and even like families like they've been so like brainwashed into thinking like okay light skin is better that they actually without knowing treat a family member that is light better than the dark. And you sit back, you be
Mm-hmm.
like I'll ask my mom a question time. I was like, so why the hell did I get this and Keisha didn't, for example? And she was like, "Oh, cause you my only son, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Is that really?" Because my sister sometimes I'll get jealous of her because that's my mom's first, but it's just weird because like my dad's side too, like my dad would do like look like even like the light skinned men stuff. You know how people say like you and your feelings you act light skinned and stuff. And I used to always
Yeah.
wonder what that meant. And I didn't really get it until like Drake came out, or even with the team light skin, team dark skin. I didn't really understand it until like put it in perspective of like what
Drake
like
ass.
mannerisms, you know what mannerisms and stereotypes fit,
Yeah.
and being a quote unquote breeder like where your mama light and your daddy dark, or vice versa. You actually see that stuff if you actually like look for it. And without knowing, I asked my mom, I was like, so mama, why you? Because my first sister is daddy's dark skin. My middle sister, dad is light skin. My dad's light skin. So I was like, mama, why you like light skins? Because she's always like light skin dudes. I was like, why you like light skin so much? And she's like, Josh, I don't like light skins. What are you talking about? Da, da, da. I like black men. Blah blah. I was like, okay, but why do you always prefer or say something about a light skinned dude? And then she said, well, Josh, you gotta understand, like when I was growing up, the boys they would like the light skinned girls and da 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 and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, so are you telling me something right now? She's like, no, I just like what I like. And I didn't really know what that shit meant until I thought about it. And I was like, okay, so he was not quote unquote getting back, but she fake way pushed herself to the side to say, okay, well, since some men like light skins, I'm gonna be the one like light skinned dudes. And
Oh,
it
like
kind of
reverse revenge?
it kind of hurt it because I was like, did she just pick that? Like my dad, did she just pick it because he was light skinned or she really liked him? And it really had me thinking. I don't know what
Damn.
she really told me,
That's
but
deep.
yeah, I don't really know. But then, like when I started seeing certain shit, and like even like certain shit, like when my sister used to get jealous of me, or when I used to get jealous of them, it really pinpoint like the
Because
society
of
we
their
live in.
dad?
None of this shit would ever happen if that didn't exist, where you'd have like white men raping black women or vice versa. And then like my mom would say shit like, "Oh yeah, if a black man is with a white woman, he's a sellout." And I said, "Why did he sell out?" She said, "Well, because he's not with his own kind, or he's not with a colored." And I was like, "But wait a minute, you like light skinned dudes?" Is he so
See?
color? It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, but I was like, my grandmama's a whole ass white woman. She's like, yeah, that's okay. I was like, oh, it's okay now. All right. So that's a really sensitive topic. That's why I brought it up because
Nah,
I didn't
man,
really.
that's a mental it's
Yeah,
a mentality at that point,
it's
man.
deeper. It's deeper than what
Yeah,
people
it's
think it
way
is.
Yeah.
deep. It's
Because
way
that's
deep.
something you want to figure out the root of it, of where it all happened.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yep.
know where it happened. You kind of get that gist, but it goes on to this day because of like we still like in bondage without knowing. You feel me? Like slavery. Like it's all because of that.
Mm-hmm.
All slaves, damn near. Because anytime you see somebody that's light skin, dark skin, you'll say, "Oh, my light skin cousin or my dark skin cousin." Like, "Oh, he light skin or she dark skin." You know what I'm saying? You say that without knowing what it really means, instead of saying like,
Yep.
"Oh, my brother, my sister." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then I even thought about it too, had me thinking, because I was like, I noticed like with my baby when she was getting older, like she only been here 4 months, but like she was real dark when she came out, right? And she was getting light. Without me knowing, I was like, oh, she getting lighter, and I didn't realize like, well, did I just say that? Like I caught myself like, did I just say that? Like, and I was really thinking to myself like, bro, like why did you just say that? Like why would you just think of that? And it was like, oh, because of what you seen or you feel me, what you like know. And it's just insane how as long as we got eyes, we see color. And I feel like it'll never change. Is the sad part.
Mm-hmm. I feel it, bro.
Because
That's
it's
exactly.
engraved not only in our community's brain, but it's in the entire country, in the
All
world,
over the world. Yeah,
over the world.
anybody who
It's gonna
who
it's
like
gonna take like it's gonna take basically once all the I feel like once all the previous generations, not saying they get wiped out, but when their time comes and it's eventually like we are the oldest generation, I think you're gonna see a real big shift in a lot of countries, in a lot of states, cities, cultures. I think it's gonna be a difference, but we're not there just yet.
and
I think
you know what
so.
else is really oh go ahead John, go ahead.
I think we are. Because and the only reason why I say it that way is because nowadays, let's just
Hmm.
say it again, we can go just 10 years back. We have seen more black millionaires, more black doctors, more black lawyers, more black anything,
Yeah, man.
right? And because of that, um, it's going to become a norm. And at one point, we're going to stop seeing he's the first or she's the first black this in this because of this.
Right, right.
You know, it's no longer he's the first anything or she's the first black whatever. It's
Hmm.
going to be a norm at this point. And
Right.
again, we started waking up with the whole Black Girls Magic, Black Lives Matter, or anything like that. It's we're seeing it more and exposed to it more because we have to understand our true value as Black
Mm-hmm.
people. Because it's, okay, I'll give you a better example.
Y'all want to
If,
hear something messed up?
you,
Oh, go
uh-huh.
ahead. I'm sorry, John. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was gonna be real quick. If you notice that back, like let's say 20 years ago in 2000s, most
Mm-hmm.
times in mainstream media, Black men were seen in movies like gangsters or outlaws, or something. Nowadays, you see them as doctors or lawyers or something that shows some kind of positive influence. How to Get Away with Murder. Regardless of the storyline, to a Black lawyer teaching at an Ivy League school, you know, or Scandal. Regardless of the storyline, he was somebody who worked in the White House, you know, or Grey's Anatomy. There were Black doctors in Grey's Anatomy.
One was
Um,
the chief of surgery. You,
the chief of surgery. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
even though it was small and minuscule at the time, it's just the subconscious part of, okay, we see a Black lawyer, we see a Black medical surgeon. Even in the show, my favorite show, New Amsterdam, there's a heart surgeon or a Black heart surgeon, a male heart surgeon, you know, who was in it. So it's like because that narrative we're gonna keep seeing is
Mm-hmm.
going to wake up our kids and our kids' kids to become that to the point where
Yes.
it's going to be normal, and then everything I think will become even. Josh, you're going to say something?
Yeah. So, yeah, and this is another thing actually I noticed too. Actually, so sad. This is how messed up like I had it growing up. I noticed that, cause see, so let me see. How do you say this? My dad, right? He was the type of person that was just like wanted to be. I would say wanted to be Black so bad because you know when you have a white mother and you growing up like in the 60s and 70s, you gotta. He said he had to prove himself. He didn't want to take the ancestry DNA because he did not want to believe that he had white in him. Like he would call my white grandmama Black, and it was so funny. And I used to always like wonder like why he had to prove himself so much, but I guess it was because like of how society like had it back then, like versus now. Because you know it's still around now, but I guess it was worse back in the days that he never wanted to like say, well, like we was mixed. He did, I didn't grow up saying we was mixed because he didn't say we mixed. Say we always Black. You always say you Black. You always Black.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't talk to him like that growing up, but like my mom would say, "Oh no, you mixed, da da da, you little mutt." You know what I'm saying? Playing, she would play, but like little shit like that would affect me because it was like, what the fuck? What the fuck's all this shit mean? Like, well, I'm the only mixed one in the whole. You know what I'm saying? You grow up a bunch of Black women, you just, you know. Anyway, I wanted my first baby to be dark skinned because of that situation, and that's the
Okay.
sad case because like my mom used to always say like, "Oh, Josh, you gonna be with a, you know what I'm saying, a white girl, you gonna be with an Asian, you like them, blah blah blah." But like with her joking with that, I responded in a serious manner because I was like, "Okay, bro, like no matter what, like I'm gonna have a Black baby on this earth, and she gonna be Black." You feel me? And even my
I
dad
feel you.
like endorsed her so much just because of like he wanted the acceptance of the Black community. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
know, he's you know under law, Black man. You know, you mix with Black, you Black. But it's just so sad because when it happened to your own family, and you hear stories like the documentary I told you about, like it's crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I
Like if
feel
May
you.
wasn't talking, I wouldn't be with her. You feel me? Like if she wasn't a black girl, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was my
I
friend
feel
in
it.
school. So, yeah,
I feel it. I feel it. I feel that.
that's yeah.
All right. My question. You already know it, the question.
No, it doesn't. To answer your question,
It,
simple as that. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
oh
So,
my
Wait, what was the?
depending
Wait, I'm
depending
sorry.
on the woman, it
Oh,
doesn't.
um, to a certain degree.
Mm.
To a certain degree, that's either a yes
Okay,
or no. Like
I feel you on that one.
Be,
Just
that's a
because
yes or a
I
no.
don't.
yes.
Mhm.
You don't have to
Okay.
be the biggest dick in in the group, but you want to feel it.
Josh, you got your window down. You know, mosquitoes flying
So
around.
yes, size does matter.
Yeah, that's why I say
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
But his window
Okay.
is down. I know.
So
Right.
it's like
Now
it
is that
matters, but I'm not
And that's
asking
just
for the
one
biggest
without being
shit
interrupted.
overall.
Hi, TT.
so? It's for
Because
the
to me, it's more
satisfaction.
important that it's more that you know how to use it. So that's why I'm like, I don't need a dude that's got a 10-inch dick necessarily. Like that's not the case, but do you know how to use
You
it?
can't
Oh
you
yeah,
Because
can't
she
put
got
your
here in
some
this
input on
dudes can have a
that.
10-inch dick. Some dudes can have a 10-inch dick and not know how to use it. I'm telling you. So it's like just because size wouldn't mean shit if you don't know how to use it.
Exactly.
Use it to the way that you need it to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
Hit
Well,
the spots.
I mean, I'm pretty sure a guy with a 4-inch penis can do the same thing, right?
No.
What you say, Alexis?
No.
She said no. She said no.
Why
So
do you
is it
feel that
length
way?
or girth?
Ain't no more garbage
Both.
bags.
You need both length and girth. So it does
It don't
matter.
gotta be the fat. It don't have to be the fattest, but I need to
Girl,
feel
pick a
something.
struggle. Pick a struggle. Which one is it?
Length. We'll say length. We'll say length. I'll say length.
So length is more important than girth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait,
So
what's
your
your
minimum
reasoning?
required.
What's your
She didn't give
reasoning,
a
Alexis?
reason.
I'm sorry.
She, she didn't give a reason. She just that was just her thing. Just a
So
requirement.
just
No reason.
what's your, I
Okay.
want to know what's your reasoning for that? Because a lot of women say size, it matters.
Because I've had experience with big and small, and
Mm-hmm,
small does not work for me,
mm-hmm,
but it may work for some.
mm-hmm.
My man so long.
I don't know why. What she want?
She wants to eat.
Whew.
We ain't gotta sit down and eat. We don't
Okay.
sit down and eat like a family.
Good
She
to
wanna go
know.
eat.
Good to know.
You wanna go eat?
So what's the minimum?
Yeah, what's the minimum? Minimum.
I don't know what the minimum
Six.
is.
That's acceptable.
6 is the standard. That's the average. So that's the minimum.
No, 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 no. They
Some
say
people,
average.
some
They
people
say
ain't
average. They
average.
say legally average is 5.
Oh yeah. Average is 5. Yeah, I heard that. Yes, I did. So 6 is so
Some
inch
people are
above the
below
standard.
average. Some people
Now
are
here's a
below
question.
average.
That's
Here's a
true.
question, Alexis.
Uh
How
huh.
how how do you determine where the base starts?
That could go for Nate too. Don't leave her out of this.
Right. Ask Nate.
Hold on.
See
He
if
asked
it,
Alexis, so Alexis
no,
knows
we
too.
asking Antoine.
Cool. I'm asking you. Cool.
Alexis,
I'm
go
asking you, Nate.
ahead. He asked you
Go
Nay,
ahead,
first.
Alexis. I asked
nay,
you, Nate. Quit playing. You ain't about to leave her
nay.
high and dry. That's messed up. Y'all friends. Alexis, go ahead.
Person.
Continue.
He asked you, Alexis. Go ahead and answer.
Alexis,
Yes.
answer the question. Nate gonna get hers, but go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah, I got to answer, but go
Sorry, can
ahead.
you repeat the question?
Go ahead,
How
Josh.
do you measure the base? Where do you start from the base? You feel me?
For length?
Huh?
In terms of length?
Yeah, length. How do you measure the base? Where do you start?
Like right in front of the balls and up.
Okay.
I don't count the balls though.
Okay. Yeah, we obviously,
You
yeah.
said right in front of.
Hmm.
Okay.
I feel like the balls are doing its own. I feel like it's its own thing. Nobody's
Wait,
focused
John,
on
why
like,
you just say that
oh,
face?
huh?
I said, John, why you just say that
I mean, because technically
face? Because
speaking, balls
he
are
didn't say
some.
right in front of. So,
She said exactly. She said in front of.
but
So
what
you
about
probably
like,
look like a couple inches back here,
yeah,
depending on the guy. Because again, balls
Yeah.
dangle and they move. So like if they
Yeah.
move, You might miss the intimacy that you want. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm with John on that one.
Yeah.
It's a little subjective, like, because I mean, again, I don't know what you want, but balls move. I'm sorry, I'm such a child right now, but it just makes it so funnier when you think of it that way. All right, Nash, your turn.
I mean, I think I just answered it. I agree
No,
with
you
you.
didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't answer shit.
I did.
Yeah.
You
I
didn't
don't
answer a
think you
damn
did,
thing. You
but
co-signed
whatever.
what I said, and you co-signed what John said. But I ain't
No,
heard.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
even know.
no.
I
I did not
mean,
co-sign. I did not co-sign with you because it. I personally would not sit here and be like it starts. It's right where the ball's at. No, it's
It's behind it, the base,
it is.
the
It is.
pelvis.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
once it starts, it depends on how hairy you are. 'Cause some dudes is hella hairy, you can't really tell. But
Talk
like
about,
once
talk
you
about, talk
start
about,
Mm-hmm.
getting
talk. All he gotta do is shave, and you find out where his base is. The moment he flexes and you feel the muscle, that's where it starts. End the story. Just go from there.
If he
The
willing
balls
to
can be
shave,
there. Niggas is willing to shave for their girls.
baby,
Come
mommy
on,
trying to hear.
come on,
Bye
bro.
bye.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's
It's a
possible what?
guarantee for guys still willing to shave for their female, especially if they're gonna get some. Come on, we'll do anything and everything just to get
Definitely,
some.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's y'all's females that
If
just
you
don't be
as a
doing
woman,
the crime.
if you tell your guy like
female.
you don't
Well,
want like the hair, and if he's really rocking with you, if he really want it, then he's gonna shave. Like he's gonna clean it
Yep,
up for you. Cause
he
he
gonna
gonna want
clean
whatever
up.
you offering. He's gonna want whatever it is that you're offering. I don't want to suck your penis and you got hella hair. Like I said the other day, hair balls. I don't want no hair balls in my mouth.
hmm
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be like no cat.
yeah,
Coughing
Peach
up hair balls.
fuzz,
right. Fur
peach
balls.
fuzz though. Peach
Huh?
fuzz, peach fuzz.
Again, the feeling of, I mean,
Prickly hair.
I don't want to, I don't, baby, let mommy talk. Let mommy talk.
Maybe she's sleepy
She
because it
ain't
is
sleepy.
9:30.
She ain't sleepy yet.
She
I
go
was
to
just
Not,
bed
guessing.
like
I
at
really don't know.
11. She go
huh?
to bed like at 11. She a
Yeah,
night owl.
she normally takes naps at this time, but lately she hasn't been taking her naps at this time.
Oh
She's been
shoot,
staying up all night.
she's a night owl for real.
She turning up. Look at her.
Yeah, you
She
see her,
going
she
at it.
lit. Her dad's here, she's lit. I told you she acts funny when her daddy around.
That's how all daughters are. Rip it.
Yes, daddy's girls.
Daddy's girls are real.
Cause I do the
hmm
same thing to my dad when my dad comes around. My mama be hella mad. She like, all right, you want to be hella fake and hella different because your daddy here? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's my daddy.
Exactly.
Okay. Hey, Josh. Can you take a house?
Wait, what were we talking about before that?
I know that's what I was about to try to get back to give her back to
we
my
were
mom.
talking about
Oh,
does
the
size
size matter,
matter?
and then it
Huh?
came to it came to size matter, and Alexis says yes, and I'm not sure what
I
you said
personally,
though.
I really used to think that it did matter until I
Okay.
experienced someone who was not as lengthy as
What
You're
size?
used
what
to.
I've experienced, huh?
What was the size? If you don't mind me asking.
Was it under 7?
Definitely.
What was it under 5?
No.
Oh,
Okay, then it
okay.
matters.
But for me, that's smaller than what I've experienced.
Okay. That's small what
And
you experienced.
and it wasn't okay, the first time, remember you guys asked me, was the first time you had sex with somebody, would you give them a second chance? This was my
hmm
second me giving them a second chance. The first time it was like, I mean, I laid there, to really be honest with you. I laid there and I faked it.
Staring at the
I
ceiling.
I
Girl, bye.
huh?
Staring at the ceiling. Just there, just waiting.
waiting
Girl.
for it to be over. Like, and I
Really?
legit faked it because I didn't want to hurt his feelings that he thought he was doing something. I didn't want to hurt his feelings, so I
Yeah, I
I,
feel it. I
I
feel
went
it.
ahead and faked it. But then the second time I gave benefit of the doubt, and I was because at first I was like, I kid you not, I was on the phone with my sister like, this talking shit. I was talking shit. But I went ahead and gave him that second chance, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what's up. You know what you now. You know what you're doing. So it's as long as
First
you know
time
how to,
jitters.
huh?
First time jitters. That's all it is. First time
Yeah,
jitters.
I mean, maybe that's what it was, but first time wasn't to what I like, and so that second time around, it was different. And then I've experienced yet another, situation like that. I mean, Alexis know what's up. I talked to Alexis about this one, and it's totally it's just it's different. Like as long as you know what you're doing, you know how to work it, you know how to hit my spots, you know how to make me. As long as you can please me, then that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, I'm not finna be like, oh, look, nigga, no,
Are we
cause
talking about
you
how this
little,
baby got here?
no, yeah.
Damn.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, basically the size matter, and according to two people, one yes, the other no. As long as they know how to hit the spots, basically.
It's
Is
to a
that
See,
certain
that's
is
it.
that
Cause
pretty
what are
much
you,
degree.
it?
cause what are you doing in
Because
sex?
if it's too
What is your
small,
goal?
you're not going to accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying?
I
If it's
mean,
under a certain size, so even though there may be a small size, some people may really think that 5 inches or 5.5 inches is small. But I guarantee, but even below that is small. So like when people say it doesn't matter, it's because they've never dealt with a very small dick.
And that's true. That's true. So I mean, Alexis, off tops, I understand where you're coming from with this. I
hey, it's
definitely
y'all's preferences,
I
y'all's
definitely
preferences.
understand. It's like it's no argument on that part, but
Yeah, so it's
Well,
like I'm
yeah.
not saying it's got to be 10 inches. Like nobody's
right,
saying that, but it's
it
got to
has
be
to be
enough for
above.
somebody
It
to
has to at least
feel
be
you.
average, or yeah,
Average, seriously,
yeah,
yeah,
You just basically
average.
gotta feel it. That's all it is. You
yeah,
just gotta feel it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, you can still feel a 4 inch penis. I'm just saying, just not as much. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Lighten up the situation, y'all.
What you just said?
I'm just saying, you can still feel a 4 inch penis. You just won't feel it as much as a 7.5 or 8. Just say it. That's all it is. As long as it hits your spots, though.
As long as you can get there. I mean,
Yeah, as long as you
Right?
can get there.
I damn near threw my baby toy at your head.
Oh shit. Next
Yeah,
question.
I was gonna
Hey,
say.
y'all wanna hear a little deal we got going on?
What do we got going
The
on?
hair.
Oh,
Okay, so Peters isn't gonna cut her hair.
don't do that.
She's not
What
gonna
is my
cut her. She's not
name?
gonna cut her hair, right? And then her bet is I can't catch her, but she said she might trim it. But if she trim it, I'm gonna catch her. Let me get your pacifier.
We ain't even got no timeline on it. Oh,
Here,
a year.
when she turns
And when
one,
you lose this bet, what's up?
I'll give you. What I'll give you? I'll give you.
Something.
No, you
Something.
gotta figure out.
All right
I
then.
forgot what I want to call her.
You forgot what you want? How you
Yeah.
forget what you want?
What did I say?
I don't know. You told me what you wanted for your birthday, but that was
Yeah,
it.
that's birthday. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I want for them. So who y'all think is gonna win? Cause look, I'm banging on her already. You feel me?
I mean, either way, it's a win-win.
I know. I want to see how long her hair gonna get. Y'all see how long it got.
I was about to say something, but I'm.
What's the
Alrighty.
next question? Anybody got another question?
What you say, John?
I said, does anybody got another question?
Do you?
I feel like y'all had a list. questions because y'all was looking at y'all's phones earlier.
We did. We did.
We did.
Yeah, so I'm going to answer those.
You
What
what?
are your strengths and weaknesses in communication?
I don't have any. I just tell them up front. Actually, no. Let me shut up. Let me stop lying. I don't communicate. I was gonna lie, and I was not gonna be good. I don't communicate right then and there. I would say that as a weakness. But when I feel safe in communicating, then I will say what I need to say. I will never communicate if it feels like it's an attack instead of a voice of concern. That's completely different. If it's more so you're not doing this, you're not doing that, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? I'm not going to respond to that. Outside of, hey, don't take offense to this, but I have a concern. Can you hear me out? Then I can let my guard down because you spoke to me a certain proper way. Um, yeah, and it all depends on the situation or how big or how important the topic is. I
Hmm.
mean, if it's minuscule, I'm not going to entertain it because I'm like, we can really solve this out with one person. But if it's something big, I don't know, like um, financial situation or um, a doctor's appointment, if it comes to like a surgery or something, uh, I don't know, something to that level of seriousness. That's when I would like communicate it, you know. But if it's something small and you're questioning my fatherhood or just in general as a person, then I'm not gonna talk about it because I feel attacked. You know, does that make
I
a little bit more sense?
understand.
Yeah. I don't want to be attacked during something that can just be for clarity.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd rather just be clear about it. Yeah, I say I
I definitely,
keep it clear.
I definitely feel you on that one. I think one of my weaknesses is that depending on the situation of communicating how in relationships or just period, 'cause they're that different for me.
True. I'm assuming she's talking about relationships, right?
Well, I mean, you can address both.
Okay.
Oh, well, then
Okay.
it's
So
different. Yeah.
yeah. So me in a relationship communicating, depending on the circumstance of the situation,
Mm-hmm.
my weakness is that I don't always listen. And when I mean listen, I mean like I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to be quick to respond sometimes, without really fully understanding the situation. You could be saying the
Yikes.
most simplest thing to me and I'm going to take it out of proportion because I was quick to respond, not really understand what you were saying to me. But my strength is that when I do, like when I'm able to like really understand what you're saying, I really I listen to what's being said to me and I can then make the changes within myself. I can take that time to really analyze the situation and kind of see where I was wrong. I'm one to
Mm-hmm.
never admit that. It's hard sometimes, but I don't shy away from admitting when I'm wrong. So if I was like, okay, I was wrong, I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry, but this is what I got from what you were saying. That's kind of one of my strengths in it. But as far as like friendships and and work related and stuff like that, my communication I feel like is top of the line. Not to be like that, but when I communicating with my friends is on a different level. Especially because nine
Hmm.
times out of ten with my friends, we talk, we have like conversations like this, we have deep conversations and stuff, and so I'm always very attentive and really just trying to figure out a way to help or anything. So I feel like my communication with just friendship is sorry is better than in a relationship.
Hmm.
I want him to come answer this question
Yeah,
because he was.
socially, it depends on the person itself. But relationship, it's much more
I wish you come answer
complex
this question.
and intimate, I would say. More complex and intimate when it comes to relationship. Because there's a sensitive side to that relationship that a person that you met off the street, won't necessarily have with you,
Mm-hmm.
Um, And the argument, not the argument. Let me stop saying that. The shield is bigger in a relationship than a common person on the street, because the person in the relationship could expose something about you, or know you a little deeper in terms of like communicating in that situation.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely different. It's definitely stronger in a relationship. Because if you meet somebody off the street and they're questioning something, you may never see them again. You can just and you won't lose any bit of sleep of it. But
Right.
relationship itself, man, it got to do thinking late at night about a lot of things, especially when it comes to communication. Because women want communication a
That's a
lot more than men.
requirement. You have to have that.
I mean, yeah, you do have to have a that requirement, but a lot of guys are quieter than women when it comes to communicating. We
Hmm.
communicate things differently. We process things longer than you guys. We
Just
process the
compare it.
logic of it and then we spit it out.
Oh my
Versus,
god.
I'm not gonna say all women, but a lot of women they just run with the mouth instead of actually thinking about the different angles in the communication part. It's almost like microwavable communication. Like
Hmm.
y'all want it now. We think about. I say you guys, or to me, it's think of it like microwavable communication. Women want the communication now and just go for it, and guys like to think about what they're gonna say before they say it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Ugh, what I miss?
What's your weaknesses
So,
I don't.
and
so
I don't. We had
strengths?
this. I don't think I have any weaknesses
in
because
communicating,
let me tell you why. I'm a master communicator. I can communicate with Satan and kill him afterwards. But the thing is this: I just believe the reason why I don't have any weaknesses is because I communicate very well. It's very simple. I'm a simple person. So if I say something and it's simple, and it can be solved simply, then there is no there's no problem in which there needs to be a problem. So with that
that
being
is
said,
so
if
true.
I had a weakness,
Yep.
if I had a weakness as in I have a problem communicating, like some people, I ain't point no elbows, but
Tough,
you know what I'm saying? It's
I,
tough.
been that
but hold
simple.
on, did I not just
So,
didn't I
mm.
just admit my weakness in communication?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
you
be
admitted it, so
honest.
I don't believe I have a weakness.
You really believe
Well, then you tell me my weaknesses since I have one.
that? You don't have one. I'm gonna just let you just
Thanks. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't think I
see,
have
there
one.
you go. So you can't try to throw him under the bus because he held
He
his
left
own,
you the
player.
floor to answer the question. So
And
answer the
you were left
question
high and
instead of
dry.
being petty.
Expose them. Expose.
Because
Please
that could
expose me
no,
really
because
that
I
because
could
don't think I have a
literally
survival.
that could really
he
nay, that could
But
really
see,
make somebody a little bit more aware of what
he
they
her
doesn't.
of
no, but this
from
is.
the outside looking
But
in of
wait.
what they experience with their
But
communication.
but look, but she'll probably say something like, "Oh, his weakness is do it my way or the highway,"
I
right?
wasn't gonna even say
Okay,
that.
well, what is it then?
I wasn't even gonna
Mhm.
say
What is
that.
it?
I was gonna say he's low key like me because of the fact that sometimes you don't listen.
I listen very
You
well.
respond very quickly.
No, I listen. I understand everybody's point of view. I just feel like mine's is better because of reasoning.
Yikes.
So, so
Oh we
Mine is
Yikes.
better.
because of reasoning. If you look, okay, look, if you got a problem, right? If you got a problem and it can be solved maybe one or two ways. Yeah, obviously I will look at the other way, which is maybe someone else's way. But if it's not gonna get solved, like where it's like
How do you know it's
fair,
not going to get
because
solved?
it's about
Fairly.
fairness.
But how do you know your way is the fair way and not the other person's? If
Because the
you
other
really not
person's way
listening
is
to the other person,
okay, but look, the other person's way is this. It's not
ooh.
always going.
Ooh.
Well, Josh, you're not always right. It's like okay, I may not be always right, but I'm always reasonable. People aren't reasonable. You can't
are you
reason with people nowadays.
really?
I'm very reasonable.
Are you really?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm. See, her voice got high pitched. Okay,
But
so
see that
do you
my
feel?
mom was like this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you feel like silence is a bad form of communication when things need to get resolved?
See, my
No,
It
it's
thing is
is,
not.
this.
and I do that.
My
No, it's
thing is
not.
this. I'm a Leo. I hate to be ignored. If you ignore me and you're alive, that means you're just saying "f you" for life. So yeah, I have a big problem with that. But
I don't.
the
I
problem with
don't.
that is if I'm silent is because the reasoning wasn't available to the other person. So that's why I'm silent because there is no form of talking if there can be, communication in the aspect of what's for the greater good. Because usually I'm simple. I just want things to be for the greater good. I don't want nobody to lose. Everybody can win if it's my way because
Okay, so how about when
Yeah,
Yikes, man.
compromise?
Wait, no, example. Compromise. See, her compromise is like, okay, well, just think of my way for once, so I can
No,
just say that I helped out in the situation. It's like, why? Why do you want to get bunny points?